Yeah, good afternoon and thank God it's Friday and welcome to today's live section on Optimal Talk Show. Wow, it's been a day and it's been a month. Well, I don't know how to say. Now, let me start with this very honest question and I want us to be sincere. Now, how many of us have earned money but still wonder where it all goes? Well, this is what we need to understand, and this is life. Now, if that has ever happened to you, type here in the comment section. So today's topic is a practical and life-changing. The topic is budget and strategic spending for financial growth. Because the truth is this: it's not what you earn that builds wealth; it's how you manage and spend it. And to help us break this down, we have an amazing guest today that is going to help us to break this. He's a lover of Donald Trump. He's a genius on his own. He's also a secretary and a supervisor. Let me know secretary. Oh, my bad. He's a supervisor of Optimal Consult. Make welcome as I present to you Mr. Desmond Ukange. Welcome to the show. Thank you for coming.
Thank you so much, Mr. Martin.
Yeah, I know that there's a lot on the table, and at the same time, I just have to like steal from that. No, it's interesting, wow.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Well, I think last time we met was around last year, if I'm right. Last year, though. No. You and if I'm right, I think in reality or something.
Yes, I think it was Mrs. Joy.
Oh, okay. Well,
who spoke about customer relationship.
Yeah, customer relationship. Like as you can see, I think this time I was talking about budget to the customer relationship too. Yeah. Wow, that's good. Yeah. So now let's start with this. So what exactly is budgeting, and why do so many people struggle in maintaining it?
First of all, thank you so much for having me, and to the viewers, nice to have this show with you guys. We are in a time where topic like this is very important that they are treated, because people need to be enlightened. The World Bank released data, I think some weeks ago, where it says over 63% of our population are living below poverty line, right? It's really a thing of concern. That's why I honestly appreciate the management of Optimal Consult for coming up with a program like this so that people will be enlightened. Now the point is this: so many persons make money, but they are still poor. Why it's like that is the fact that when you don't have plan for your money, you don't know where your money is going to. So it's not all about just money itself. Money itself is not the problem, but management is the problem. Yes, like I earlier said, if you don't have plans for this money, you still don't know where the money is going to.
Okay.
You will not be in that rat race of living from salary paycheck to paycheck as the time goes.
But I think this is where people are now getting it. But now the question is, why do people now take budget as restriction?
No, but budget is not something that is a kind of restriction. Budget gives you power over money, right? It helps you to plan, invest, and spend your money wisely. So a lot of time when you don't get the right knowledge when it comes to finance, you see it as something that restricts you. However, this is something that will help you to become financially free, and you will not be in this rat race of paycheck. Because a lot of time when you don't have budget for your money, you end up spending the money you're supposed to use for income for a lifestyle that put you in that rat race.
Wow. Thank you so much. I think that's powerful. And because budget is not about limitation. Like, to be honest, it's not about limitation.
It gives you power over money.
No, it gives you power over money.
So there's no restriction.
I think that's what leads us to number 2 question, which is, what are the most common spending mistakes people make into this life?
Now the first thing first that we all need to understand is this, right? What are your wants? What are your needs? Right?
Yeah.
So when you understand your wants, your needs, and then you have a budget plan, it will help you spend your money wisely. There's a common budget plan that is out there, the 50, 30, 20% rule. However, it's something that can be modified where you, according to that spending budget, 50% of your budget it goes to what you need. That's things you cannot do without. While 30% goes to your want, and then 20% goes to
The
your saving
saving
and investment.
investment.
Like I said, it's something you can modify. Like for instance, you can do 50, 20, 20, 10, 10. Like for example, 40% of your salary goes to what you want, 20% goes to your sorry, 40% goes to what you need. That's things
Okay.
you cannot do
Yeah,
without,
maybe
like a shelter, food,
interesting.
transportation. Then, like you can budget like 20% for what you want, like maybe clothes. You can really do without it, but sometimes I need that, so maybe 20%. And then another 20% goes for investment, and then you have 10% for tithes and like that. So
Wow.
when you have this kind of budget plan, it helps you channel your money to the right source and you have good savings at the end
Hmm.
of the long run.
Okay, 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 okay. I think that is great. So now the thing is, people who doesn't have that habit, what do you think? Because I think that what can okay because what can cause impulse spending? Because I know if people doesn't have that kind of mindset of the law of saving, investment and the needy, which is the 50-30-20, they don't have it. They spend impulses. So what do you think can cause their impulse spending?
First thing first,
And what is the danger behind it?
there are many factors that cause that. But first thing first, one needs to be disciplined.
Okay.
Like for instance, you have this budget system like the 50, 30,
30-20.
20 rules, right?
Okay.
But when you're not disciplined, you can't keep that.
Oh,
Yes, when you're
okay.
not disciplined. I think discipline is the main factor, right? Because you can have good plan, right? You can have good maybe earnings at the end of the month. But when you're not disciplined, it makes you still live below
Hmm.
the poverty line. So
Oh,
I think discipline is a major factor of why people are, not really managing their money very well.
okay. Oh, wow. But I think this question might sound silly. But the question is, I think that is one on its own because if people doesn't. So now, another question is, do you really think social media as a whole also like also
Influence spending.
influence spending?
100% it does influence me because you see a whole lot of different posts on social media, right? Where with just a click, you might be tempted to make a purchase,
Hmm.
right? Like maybe probably you're watching a video on social media, an ad might pop up with something you actually need. The social media space today is really fascinating where the search engine has a way of, you know, recommending
Things like things
things you need,
you need.
right? So all those kind of
I think that one is so when your data is being saved, so
yeah, yeah.
the algorithm picks it from your
Yeah, so
data.
those kind of algorithms makes you to influence your spending habits,
Habit,
right? So maybe
okay.
you are eyeing a shoe, right?
Okay.
And maybe an ad of a shoe pops up from a video you're watching. It can push you to want to purchase that
Oh,
shoe.
oh,
And when
okay.
you are not disciplined with your budget plan, you might be tempted to buy that shoe. And
Mm.
probably that act alone will make you spend money on what you want
Mm.
instead of spending money on what
What
you
you
need.
need.
And at the end
Wow.
of the day, you probably will force one to collect loan and stuff like that. And,
Mm.
it's affecting
Well, to be honest,
financial.
well, to be honest, this question is going to you as the audience. Now, I want you to write this in the comment section. Now, the question is, how many of you have spent on what you didn't budget for? Now, if it has happened to you countless times, just put it in the comment section. impulse. Now, the thing is, spending is not the problem. Uncontrolled spending is the problem. Now, when you spend, it's not the problem, but when you spend uncontrollable is the problem. Now let's talk about strategic spending, and I think this is where we all need to know and how we need to I think put this mindset and creativity. I'm not calling it creativity. Develop this mindset and have this kind of IQ on how you have to spend the money. Now the question is, what does strategic spending really means?
Okay. Now, when you're talking about spending strategically, right, it also boils down to your budget. Like you were all looking at financial growth at the end of the day. Strategic spending is spending, maintaining your expenses or your spending habit on what you need,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Reducing the amount you spend on what you want,
Right.
and then increasing the amount on what you save and invest, right? So when you have that kind of spending habit, it increases your financial status over time.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
I think that's good. Oh, okay, which is strategic spending. No, it's when you spend intentional. Let me say when you spend intentional is
Yes, yes.
and when you spend with awareness. Wow. That,
Like irrespective of the amount of money you are earning,
I mean, yeah.
right? You maintain your needs. Like for instance, you have maybe a salary of 200,000, right?
Mm.
And maybe you probably have other source of income that probably comes in, maybe amounts to like 50,000 naira, for example. So for that month, you have a total income of around 250,000, right?
Yeah.
So spend strategically also means that in as much as you have more money, you maintain what you spend on your need, right? And reduce your wants.
Mm.
And also in that line, you increase the
Yeah, okay.
amount of money you are
You're
saving
saving and
and that
investing.
at which you invest.
Mm.
Yes.
Wow. This is great. Okay, now let's make this practical. No, to everyone to watch. And this is it. And I want you people to just, if possible, you can pick up a pen and a book and a jotter and write it down. So, Mr. Desmond, now what is the between, or okay, let me say, what are the simple steps someone can take today to start budgeting effectively? Because I noticed, now I can say, a few years back, if I'm not mistaken, few years back, let me say about um, 5 or 7 years back, the youth are earning, let me see, 70% of these are earning illegally from internet. Now the question is, what did they invest in? Because now I look at it that some of them didn't budget. If some of them have, no, they will budget. So now, what are the simple steps? So now you say, now some youth are coming up. Now the world are not becoming is now becoming digital, that people are not coming online to advertise themselves. So now the question is, if you are coming into the limelight and possibly or positively you made it. So what are the simple, even not even before them, like you are, let's start with low life first. Low life people. So what are the simple strategy you think people could invest in starting a simple budget?
All right, right. Like you said, the world is going digital by the day. There are so many apps that will help you save money.
Okay.
There are so many apps that help you to save money. Like CarryWise is one of them.
Yeah, okay.
The PGVS,
Piggy
yes, it's also one. There are so many of them that you can save your money with, right? And they have policies that enable you to save and do it at a particular period
of
of
time.
time like that. So starting with maybe app like that, it can help you save. And now when you talk of saving and investment, it's not for you to save maybe a chunk of money out of what you earn on a monthly basis, right? It's for you to save a certain amount of money that you can do that consistently, because consistency is the winner when it comes to saving and investing.
Mm.
When you're consistent with what you do, like take for example, you are saving 50,000 naira in a month, right? Now 50,000 naira in a month, imagine doing that for like 3 years or 4 years or 5 years. You save and you invest. You realize that at the end of the day, you have so much money. For example, this month you save, next month you save, right? You only maintain your budget plan with that kind of attitude. You still need that right place of moving from paycheck to paycheck. That's why it's very important that one consistent with it over time. Investment will grow and make more money. Save so much.
That's okay. I think that's really addressable. Like consistency, when you have the consistency. So yeah. So now the question is, some people like the question is it mandatory or is it ideal? Let me use the word ideal. I don't want to say mandatory. Is it ideal for people who are coming up to like to have this budget of spending, habit of not having a poor spending? Is it ideal for them to keep daily track of their spending stuff?
Okay. Like I said in the beginning of the program, right? That World Bank released the data, right? And in that data, we have more than half of our population living below poverty line.
Hmm.
That's 63.63% of our population living below poverty line. It tells you that there's a need for change. It tells you that a lot of practices we do are not working.
A lot of
Yes.
practice
So
to
they,
do and all.
they need to be changed. There need to be more of program like this where we discuss finance because a lot of time institutions, education institutions don't teach these things, right? They don't teach these things in our community and stuff like that. We learn all this in a hard way. So there's a need for a program like this. There's a need for a change because you cannot keep doing the same thing over and over again and you're expecting a different result, right? So it is important that now the statistic has shown us that there is a concern in our nation as a whole. So how can this thing be tackled, right? It begins from program like this, for us to talk about these things, right?
Yeah.
It begins for us to implement what we're talking about. Just like we are viewers out there, it's important that they have a budget plan. Probably they don't have one, or maybe a lot of person out there don't have one. It's important that we have one and start, sticking to it. Like we should be disciplined to follow our budget plan going
Wow.
forward. If you are an entrepreneur that you're starting a business, you need to follow a budget plan. You don't just spend money anyhow from your company because you are the owner of the company. You need to have an amount that you earn as a person
Yes.
and the company ends, and other expenses are taken care of so that one the business don't suffer, right? So same to probably graduate out there that are entering the labor market. It's important that as we're starting our career path and we're entering the labor market, it's important that we have a budget plan, no matter how small your salary is, right? Have a budget plan that you take care of your needs, you reduce your wants, and then you keep some percentage for investment and you save some. Now, when you talking about investment, it's a broader word because you can invest by learning a new skill. You can invest in yourself
Yes.
by learning a new skill, right? You can also go to the bank and ask for possible stock that you can invest your money in. Right?
Okay.
Yes, you can also do that. So it goes a long way, right? So it's important that we have a plan for income because that's the only way we can really escape this paycheck.
Well, for us to escape this specific paycheck stuff, you need to invest in yourself. I think that's
One aspect of investment.
one aspect of investment. So now, yours out there. Now the question is, do you have a budget? If it is yes, on the comment. If it is no, Drop it in the comment section. And don't forget,
And if
life,
you know, please,
you know,
you need to get one
you need to get one.
that suits your earnings.
Like we have so many skill acquisition, go to the bank to make stuff. I think there are many skills out there you can learn.
You know, we earlier talked about the budget plan, like a 50,
But
30,
yeah,
so.
yeah. So you should know, you should know. Well, I think we are coming to the end of today's show, and trust me, today has been gaming, and the silence area has been speaking to me because I notice I always say I don't think I'm the only one learning. We all are learning from the whether the front end or the back end or the audience. So now the last question for today, and we'll round up. It says, how do budgeting and strategic spending lead to long-term financial growth? I think this is where we now become wealthy as a person. So, Mr. Desmond, I want to point out your Donald Trump idea.
Okay. All right. First thing first, right? When you're talking about budgeting, right? Nobody wants to be, you know, nobody wants to work for under someone
For a long
for a
time.
long time, right? We want to be our own boss
We want to have our own company and
and,
stuff.
and stuff like that. So now, when you save, right? When you save and invest, it helps you to escape this paycheck thing. My former boss, right, when he was working with then Oceanic Bank
Okay.
as an he saved he was saving money, and that money helps him to have a microfinance. And today we have a microfinance that is operating, right? So that dream wasn't just achieved in a day. One, there was consistency in investment, right? So that's a practical example of how we can, save money, invest, and in the long run, right? That will help us attain financial freedom. Like if you look at Bitcoin today, for example, if you look at how much was Bitcoin, right?
About some years ago,
Last 10 years, you realize that it has increased
increase.
at a very high rate today. Bitcoin is around, it's above, I think,
$7,000
$70,000.
by a coin.
Okay, if you imagine that one is consistent with his or her investment the last 10 years, maybe they were consistent, maybe buying maybe 10 Bitcoin in the last 10 or in the last 10 years, right? Imagine how much Bitcoin they will have bought and how much you will have sell and need to do, right? So that's how budgeting can help us escape that rat race of living from paycheck to paycheck.
Wow. This is magnificent. Let me use that word. It has been wow. But the truth is, if you have to live that kind of lifestyle, you need to be consistency and you need to, be up and do. Because one thing we all need to know is if you can, have a strategic budget, definitely we have the possibility of having a long-term, financial breakthrough. And at the end of the day, financial growth is not lucky; it's a discipline, and it's also, it builds consistency. Now, I want to bring this home to you, and today you have learned. But now, this is it. I want to give you people this a little piece of advice, or should I call it a quote, or should I call it a word of affirmation? I don't know anyone you have to call it, but it's something that is going to help us, to help me, you out there. Now, budgeting gives you your money directly. Strategic spending protects your future. Discipline build your financial growth and your company. Now, before we go, I want you to reflect on this. What is one spending habit you will change now, tomorrow, this week, next month, next 2 years, and future to come? I want you to have that at the back of your mind. Write it as a goal that you need to know what keep. Now, start small, stay consistent, build discipline, and I can tell you, you will go high. Mr. Desmond, thanks you for coming for today's live show, and really appreciate you coming around, and we bless you. And to Lady Peace, Mrs. Zion, we say congratulations on your triplet. I think on one day was the name, and it was you know it was magnificent. So at the end of the show, you are going to play the clips for you people to just watch, or just in case you miss it, the clip is on Optimal TV. You can check it this week. You can scroll up, few couples of, you see it there, and I will tell you, it was wow. That day was, it was the naming, but the ceremony, loading in bulk, and it's one of the but I won't tell you, Okay, in addition to that, Optima Academy is still ongoing. The admission is still ongoing, and I can tell you that come next week Monday, Academy will start, and it's an opportunity for you. And after this month, admission is locked up till next year. So if you're out there, you can tell someone to tell someone, and I can tell you, if you can break one person, you have 50%. Are you 50% of, I mean, that's 5%, yes, of the school fees to you. Like, imagine, of the school fees. So at the end of 8 months, you are going to have the money within just a year. So imagine you struggle with 3 people or 5 people. It's an investment to you. Just invest 5 people. Invest 5 people. Yes, thank you. Just invest 5 people. No, let me invest 1. And next year you double it up. I can tell you. Yeah. That's the opportunity Optima Consult, Optima Academy, has given, not to only the workers or the people. So every single person, invest 1 person, and you have 5% of it to yourself. Thank you everyone for watching, and till we see you next week.